Hold on so you guys can see me. Try to lift the computer up some. Oh, you're gonna see
Welcome,
my peaks.
welcome, sisters. This is
Aw.
Monday, July 20th, 2020. It is the second new moon in Cancer. It's rare. I've been doing this for almost 3 years and I haven't had a consecutive sign. Apparently it happens, but it's rare that you'll get the new moon in the same sign 2 months in a row. So I kind of think of it as opportunity to go deeper. So if you'll remember last month in the new moon of Cancer, our theme was liberation through forgiveness.
Yeah.
I let go, I set myself free. So we had this really powerful discussion on forgiveness. And what's interesting is, and I'll go into this around the astrology, but so last month, the new moon was on the summer solstice, or like right up against it. So you had the sun and the moon in kind of equal measure. And now the moon it's truly lunar. It's really more, so we've gone deeper. So we kind of were able to touch the surface of forgiveness and kind of work on that throughout the month. And now we're moving into, can you take forgiveness to an ancestral level? Because whether we're aware of it or not, we are living out the unhealed shadows of our ancestors, of our family. And we even talked about this, we touched about it last month, that abuse and codependency and some of these dysfunctional patterns tend to travel in generational cycles. And that is because the trauma leaves an imprint on our DNA. And if we don't clear it in our lifetime, we do pass it on through our genetics. There's a whole scientific study on epigenetics. And I was first introduced to epigenetics in, I want to say in the late 90s. I had kind of a Reiki circle, and one of my Reiki buddies was really doing some intense training on epigenetics. And she went on to become a hypnotherapist and also specialize in this training around family constellation therapy, where, and it's kind of this group healing experience where the negative charge can be released through certain exercises and essentially supervised, guided ritual stuff. Or, it's like you have people stepping in to play your parent, if that's the person that you needed to have healing with, and you're guided to say the things that you need to say to release yourself from the karmic cord. I mean, just like and it's very active. So we were really getting into our bodies. and so when you do that, when you are like doing healing on the level that incorporates your bones and your muscles, you're going to hold on to that healing and take it a little bit deeper. So that's the whole theory behind family constellation therapy. And we're just like, we're in a really beautiful place to uncover and own and release that which is no longer serving us. And there can be some things that we're not aware of on the conscious level, but our body is aware of. And that's the whole thing, is to be tuned into your body and become aware of if you're feeling a negative trigger around something. Your mind, that's kind of the compromise. That's how the heart and the mind need to work together. We always want to support the mind to understand and to have some evidence so it feels safe to relax, so that we can go into the heart and do some deeper healing. So we have an opportunity to do that today. I'm really, really excited to see what happens. So what I thought we'd do, I'll kind of ground us in just to kind of open our circle and share a little bit of a glimpse into the theme. And then I'd love to open it up for discussion about what it is about this theme that really drew you to be here tonight. Like, what about this theme is inspiring you or triggering you? What comes up for you about this theme? We'll have some discussion to see where our mind is. And then when we're ready, when we're satisfied, we'll drop into the heart. We'll do the 10-minute unified heart meditation, go into the visualization, the guided visualization, and then the visualization prompts. Do some journaling around some questions, come back, have some conversation, and then when we're ready, we'll close it out. Understanding, Shelley, you may need to leave us if you get called out. So does all that sound good? Can I take us into an opening now? Yay! All right, ladies, let's breathe in. And give ourselves permission to be here, fully present in the time that we have, not concerned about what we have to do in a few minutes. We are here, right now, in full gratitude, creating the sacred circle, understanding confidentiality and compassion, and doing our own work around these deep, deep transformational themes, sharing as much or as little as we are called to, knowing that all is exactly as it should be in this moment. So I want to open, there's a quote I'd like to share. If we carry intergenerational trauma, and we do, then we also carry intergenerational wisdom. It's in our genes and in our DNA. And that's a quote from Kazuhaga. Our ancestors are speaking loudly during this potent time on our planet. And they are calling us into healing on the deepest levels. Pain is arising to be healed in the lineages, in our DNA, and stories of all. Ancestral healing and connection is more important now than ever. And as women on the path of healing, this sacred work may be the most powerful gift we can offer to the world and to generations to come. It is time for us to rise into fierce love and to declare that the time for blindly perpetuating old patterns is over within our families and lineages, as well as in the collective. Vicious cycles continue until one brave grandchild conscientiously and consciously chooses to say no more. Somebody in the line has to be brave enough to do that. At some point in all lineages, a soul will be born that decides to bring healing to their ancestors. Because you are here in this moment, one thing is certain. This beautiful soul is you. When we turn within to heal our ancestral lineages, an alchemy happens in our bodies and souls that ripples out through time. Clearing intergenerational patterns and trauma from our lineages brings us healing on a cellular and DNA level, and brings healing energy to the planet, the past, the present, and future. When we clear ancestral patterns personally, every area of our lives are touched. This can result in healthier relationship dynamics, limiting beliefs around money being transformed, nervous systems finally allowing us to feel safe in our bodies and on this earth. And we feel a sense of belonging, not only in community, but within a larger web of life that stretches through time. And possibly the most beautiful result is that we tap into the spiritual wisdom, guidance, and protection of our ancestors. This wisdom is needed to heal ourselves and our world. And when we clear patterns collectively in circles like this, old systems crumble. Healing and balance is consciously returned to the earth, birthed through our hearts. We literally create a new earth, starting with ourselves. By maintaining a relationship with our ancestral wisdom, we open to receive the infinite love that is flowing to us from our millions of ancestors through time. And we are filled with their strength, compassion, resilience, and blessings. With these qualities reclaimed and with ancestral remembrance pulsing through our blood, we know where we come from, and we are better able to know where we are going. Only then can we build a truly peaceful world for future generations. Welcome to the second new moon in Cancer. Welcome to the sacred realm of ancestral healing. And our circle is open. And I would just love to hear from you. What is it that called you about this theme? What is it that's resonating with you or challenging you? Go ahead, Shelley.
I honestly, I had forgotten what the topic was, but we had a big loss last week, somebody close. And so I just thought being here would be good.
It is good. Thank you for being here, Shelley.
I actually, all of these have been so helpful, and it's so funny how life puts things, in front of you to help you, because Nikki is coming home, and we are so happy. But she's coming home because she was hit so hard that she was vomiting blood. So her brother and her sister got in the car. Jeremy filled up with gas, got tarps and tie downs for her things, and they, as soon as they were done talking, they left for Colorado. And they drove through the night. They stayed at a hotel for a few hours to sleep, and then they got their sister. And now they're bringing her home. And I'm so grateful that she called us, because how many women don't? I don't know if I would have, and I screwed up, because basically saying I screwed up. Look, she's so brave, and I'm so relieved. Thank God.
Thank
God.
Thank God.
Yeah, she's going. We're gonna get her checkup as soon as she gets home. But we just wanted her home first. She felt like she could make it home.
Yeah. I really want to acknowledge what I know about the situation is you made it so safe. You made it so safe for her to be able to come home if she needed to.
Yeah, we left with her hating me. And I said, that's okay. I love you more than you hate me. All this. I'm so grateful she called. Yeah.
Really breathe that in, Melanie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't have a conversation without crying. It does happen.
Might as well call it New Moon Cry Circle. It's okay. I got to go to my sister cry circle. Yes. Everything we feel is safe. Everything we feel is safe here.
Yeah. It's been so wonderful. So first, I wasn't going to miss it. And then when I actually read, I was like, oh my gosh, it lines up so perfectly. with what my family's going through right now,
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah. Well, and I am just kind of blown away because the three of us met last month, so there's some
I know.
consistency here, and we were talking about this. We were talking about how these patterns pass down through the generations, and that when we really go inside and we get, we connect to that inner wisdom, we can really easily see how these family members actually made a huge evolutionary step forward in their generation. If we can put it in that kind of context, and we can see, wow, you know what? From where they came from, they made a huge shift in the way that they raised me. And there's a certain level of humility that comes when you become a parent. You're like, I know that I am going to screw up, and I don't even know how I'm going to do it, but inevitably I'm going to do something that lands in the wrong way, no matter how hard I try or how intentional. And there's some things that we cannot possibly understand, like why this soul has chosen to incarnate as a child of ours, and how we're going to trigger, through our mistakes, quote unquote mistakes, through our choices, we're going to trigger something in them that they will choose to grapple with and hopefully heal and learn from, and make different choices for the next generation than the choices that we made so that we will be part of a chain of healing. And that, you know what, we didn't get here in one generation. We got through here through eons. And on the cellular level, because we carry our family's DNA on the physical level, and we pick up energetically all these unspoken beliefs and patterns through whoever's raising us. Sometimes that's a biological family, sometimes that's an adopted family, or a combination of both, right? We are the receptacles, we're the sort of the filters for all this stuff, and like it just blows me away, because each one of us has an opportunity to maneuver through those factors and make choices about, oh my goodness, we're all going to make different choices for you, sweetie pie. We're all going to make different choices. Yes, you're the future. Yeah, that's why we do this. We do this healing work to make the world better for you, sweetheart.
They just know that mommy went to go get Aunt Kiki and bring her home.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Thank you for being in our circle, sweetheart. You bless us. You bless us.
They've been busy. That's why he looks like that.
I think what this little angel is saying it all, just with his presence, her presence. Yes. Is there anything else we want to share before we move into the Unified Heart meditation? Any other thoughts around this work? I think we should do it. Yeah. All right. Well, let's imagine that we are in a room together, all four of us, and we get to hold hands together in a circle. And gently close our eyes and inhale together, slowing the breath. Bringing our attention to how our bodies are feeling right now, in full acceptance of whatever is present. Notice where your body is touching the ground, and bring your focus there. begin to feel the pulsing energy of the earth beneath us, the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And with an inhale, breathe in gratitude and love for all that she gives us. Continuing to breathe, feel your heartbeat, your unique, beautiful rhythm. Breathe deeply from your heart as you open to the sensation of love within. Opening, feel the pulsing energy of this love. Envision and feel this pulsing energy as a light glowing in your heart. Breathing deeply, see and feel this light getting brighter until it fills your whole body and surrounds you. And with your next exhale, think of someone who is having a difficult time in their life. And imagine that they're right in front of you. While remaining connected with the love in your own heart, allow yourself to feel empathy for this person's struggle as you breathe, honoring their journey. See the light in their heart as the same loving light that is within yours. As you offer your love and compassion to this person, feel the light in both of your hearts growing brighter together. Inhaling as you focus your attention on your heart again. Feel the light grow brighter as you allow the love from your heart to nourish any parts of you that have been in pain. Open to feeling compassion for yourself as you breathe the light of your love into the places where you have kept fear, grief, anger, stress, and insecurity. Open to feeling nourished by the love within you. Offer yourself thank yous and respect for everything you are and for how far you've come and for the incredible beauty and power within you. And take a deep breath and start to feel the woman to your right. This woman has her own struggles, pain, fears, and insecurities. So take a moment to feel empathy and great respect for this powerful woman beside you. While breathing into your heart, feel the power of the love in her heart. See and feel the light within her as it grows brighter, surrounding her. Feel the light within your heart and the light within her heart growing brighter together. And take a moment to feel the woman to your left. This woman has her own struggles, pain, fears and insecurities. Take a moment to feel empathy and great respect for this powerful woman beside you. While breathing into your own heart, feel the power of the love in her heart. See and feel the light within her as it grows brighter, surrounding her. And feel the light within your heart and the light within her heart growing brighter together. Feel the love and light for every woman and every child in the circle being amplified, growing brighter, filling the whole room. And now let's connect with every sister circle that's happening on this new moon. Imagine the planet with sparks of light glowing where each sister circle is located. A golden web uniting our sisterhood. Let's focus the healing power within our hearts on all of humanity and our beautiful planet. Feel every person on this planet being connected to their roots, feeling a sense of belonging and knowing the power and wisdom of their ancestors. Imagine every woman feeling all the wise women, grandmothers, healers, midwives, and female ancestors before her in her lineage, and knowing their support flows through her. Feel now in your body the peace of knowing that you are supported by the love of thousands, and you are truly never alone. Your ancestors are holding you now. Envision every person choosing to turn within and transforming all unhealthy patterns into conscious, healed ways of being. Envision our world breaking the spell of disconnection and instead taking a stand for honoring our ancestral diversity, knowledge, and traditions. See and feel the power of indigenous wisdom rising through all of us as we remember our indigeneity to this earth and choose to protect and steward the earth as our original ancestor. Imagine true, deep, ancestral healing rippling out through every person's lineages into the past, present, and future. Feel the power of compassion, love, forgiveness, trust, truth, and remembrance ignited within each person on our planet as they choose to heal the past and create a thriving, just, and sustainable future. In this moment, connected with women all around the world, let's create the prayer and intention that we open to receive the guidance of all our healed ancestors so that we may move forward honoring their wisdom. Now bring this beautiful intention into your heart, surrounding it with light and love. And with a deep breath, imagine sending it into the earth below, like a seed being planted. Feel it blossoming. Bring your hands to your heart and feel your heartbeat. And take a deep breath and gently open your eyes and bring out your journal. We'll do some journaling around some questions. How would you describe your relationship with your ancestors? What patterns do you witness in your family that are also in you that you'd like to bring healing to? What patterns do you witness in your family that are also in you that you'd like to bring healing to? All right. Let's move to the next one, knowing we can always come back and journal more deeply. How does your ancestry tie into your identity and affect how you move through life, both personally and socially? How does your ancestry tie to your identity and affect how you move through life, both personally and socially? What privileges or challenges are related to your lineages? What privileges or challenges are related to your lineages? Have you ever felt the presence of your ancestors? If so, what did it feel like? And what did it bring up for you? Have you ever felt the presence of your ancestors? If so, what did it feel like? Or what did it bring up for you? Someday, most of us will be ancestors. When you think forward to being an ancestor or an elder, what wisdom would you pass on to future generations? When you think forward to being an ancestor or an elder, what wisdom would you pass on to future generations? When you close your eyes and feel, what wisdom or guidance do you feel your ancestors would want to give you? When you close your eyes and feel, what wisdom or guidance do you feel your ancestors would want to give you? All right, ladies, let's come back whenever you're ready. And here's where we can share as much or as little as we'd like. Shelley, are you still with us? Your camera's off. All right. Melanie, what would you like to share?
Well, when we were thinking about the ancestors, my great grandmother came to mind. Now, she came to Kentucky in a covered wagon. And even in her 80s, she was like climbing the chicken coop roof, you know.
Yeah.
And what came through was like always be able to take care of yourself and your kids by yourself, even if you don't have to, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that lesson too, especially from my mother comes from this long line of, there's just strong women in her side of the family. My father's side of the family, I don't really know very well because all the men died in logging accidents. So it was just like a family stump on that side. But they really valued education and being self-sufficient. It was like this weird time of history where there was sort of this pulling away from the nuclear idea of, because families weren't happy. They just weren't. They were stuck, absolutely stuck. But I just remember this drilling of never be dependent on a man, always have your own income, always be working. You can't depend on a man because they might die or they might leave you. So you better be able to handle everything. And yeah, I remember that. It's not bad advice because what they were really doing was saying, don't get yourself in a position where you're struggling unnecessarily. If you have the intelligence and the work ethic, I mean, that work ethic was something that's really drilled in. Like, you better know how to work and create some saleable skills, and don't depend on a man, because then you're gonna be in a bad place. So be able to get yourself out if you can.
It's easier said than done though sometimes.
Yeah.
And the other one that I had was the stereotypes, being a Southern woman, you know, and then all the rules that come with it. I grew up with all these rules, seasonal clothes and white shoes and hair to Jesus and all, gosh, and I think of all the rules. I definitely went against the grain. Yeah. Much to my mom's annoyance, because then she had to hear it, And I keep telling her, to this day, she doesn't own a pair of white dress shoes, because they're huskies. That's what huskies wear, and they're white. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. I actually wear white. I have a lot of white everything.
Yeah, I mean, traditions are started maybe for one reason, but they need to transform, or new generations need to discover a new significance for why they should keep it up. And
I tell my mom, winter white is named that for a reason now. Forget it. All those rules are done. I should get tired of it. I don't know if northern women have to go through that, but as a Southern woman.
Oh,
There's a lot of darn rules. A lot of damn rules.
Now, Alaskan high society is a little different. I say high society loosely.
I got the joke. It's very funny.
Well,
And then
go ahead.
even when I felt like family near me, it's just like reminding me of all the things I should be doing. I just felt this like remembering of I was in the wrong outfit for the time of day, or you know what I mean? Just like it's so funny. And why do we keep marrying so young? I don't get it. And my daughters are doing it too. You're like, my Katie got married at 17. I was like one of the oldest at 21, but I'd already been with my husband since I was 13. We're still doing it. I don't know why. I wish that would stop.
Well,
we all do it.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Still going on.
But biologically, our bodies want to make babies at that time. And I think, but we're not necessarily emotionally ready to raise them. It's more like the grandmothers are more kind of emotionally like grounded and able to, provide that consistency. So yeah, our, when you think about the strengths of each generation, I mean, like the 20s, they're going to be really good at reproducing, maybe not so much about parenting. And can you have these generations work together in a way that
Which
may
is
not?
probably why the great grandparents and the grandparents has so much power each generation.
Yeah.
I can see that now, where I didn't see that before. Maybe Allie won't marry so young. Aliana, my granddaughter, maybe she won't.
We just don't know what that amazing creature is going to choose to do. We have no idea.
Silly when you think about it, but when you really think about it, it's not silly at all, It's just a continuous, like, power thing that, whether we're all doing it unconsciously, I don't, it's not that I was like, I must meet my husband at 13 and I'm going to marry him, it's weird.
But we internalize the patterns of those around us and take them in, and we model them, whether we're aware of it or not, conscious of it or not.
Because especially at that age, the last thing you want to do is model your mother, but we still do it. Yeah, that's got to stop.
Well, I'll share. There were some things that were very touching that came up in this exercise. And I've experienced, well, I want to say, and it's how much of it is imagination and how much is it true. I don't know. But I'm an actor, and that's part of my job, is to open up my imagination. So I remember being taken through this. I was in an acting class, and we had a guest teacher, and he took us through a meditation. We were all kind of standing, and he kind of took us through this guided visualization where we met an ancestor. It was almost like looking in a mirror and then seeing that image transform into an ancestor and seeing how we were similar, how we were different. So, and it's just an imagination exercise, but it connected me to just some really interesting revelations. And then, doing the work with my friend Felice around the family constellation work. I have an ancestor who's a brother. There was a brother who was stillborn before my older brother was born. And nobody ever talks about it. I mean, I knew about it, but mother never ever talked about it. And of course, my older brother wasn't born yet, but but there's this lore, right? And then I knew that I was born prematurely, so my mother had this history with troubles with childbirth, and a big fear that she was passing on to me around that. But I remember doing this whole exercise where I acknowledged this sibling that is an ancestor, is a relative that I never met, that's on the other side. And just like very physically, symbolically, you know, kept an empty mat for where he would have been in the family structure.
Yeah.
And that allowed this person who was playing my older brother to be second in line, which is really where he would have been more comfortable. He really did not want to have to step in and be little man of the house when my father passed. It was just like, what? I mean, I was supposed to be the second boy in line. I didn't want to have all this responsibility, and, you know, and how it shifted, how that death and the unspoken grief around it affected everyone in the family, even though no one ever talked about it. There was always this, like, I wasn't supposed to be second in line. I was supposed to be third in line, and I was supposed to have two big brothers, right? And so just like that, there was just something about acknowledging it and then being able to, even just me acknowledging it in that exercise and letting it go, I felt there was a healing in the lineage that also helped my living relatives that still, you know, aren't addressing it. But because I had done that work, it had a ripple effect. So it's really, really powerful work. And in it, you know, it brought up gratitude, you know, especially that mirror exercise. And the women, all the women in my lineage, I just felt gratitude that they survived so that I could live.
Yeah.
And the wisdom to be passed on, like when I'm an elder, be kind, help each other, be curious and learn from each other. Tell the stories of what you learn through trial and error. Never be ashamed for missing the mark. It's a long game.
Oh, you froze, Wendy.
Enjoy the ride, right? These are things that I definitely want to pass on, that kind of wisdom. And the thing that they would tell me, the last question, they really want me to know, we've got your back. We've always been here to help. Just ask, really, please, we love you. That's what they wanted me to know today. That felt really good to hear. Shelley, are you still with us? Did you want to share anything before we close? I think
no, can you repeat that? Your screen has froze.
Can you hear me? Okay?
Yeah, now I can.
But
your screen is frozen.
I'll repeat the last thing. So what my ancestors wanted me to know.
I can't hear you now.
We've got your back. We are always here to help. Just ask. Really, please. We love you. Shelley? I think Shelley had to go. Anything else you'd like to share before I close this out with a prayer? No,
and hopefully I don't lose you again, because that last bit of time, like last minute and a half, you were coming in and out.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, we should probably do that.
All right, let's close out. It's been a great circle. All right. I am made of sacred waters, and water remembers everything. I feel within me the same waters that have cycled through the earth and skies since the very beginning. My body is a water temple, carrying ancient codes of wisdom from throughout the ages. This wisdom of earth and sky lives in my every cell. I feel within me eons of grandmother midwives, wise women and healers. They live on through me. My DNA is made of soil, bones, water, stardust, and the
That is
prayers
gorgeous.
of my ancestors. It spirals within me, connecting me to my depths and to my loved ones through time. My grandmothers and grandfathers, celestial and ever alive, are remembered through my breath and being. I remember you, wise ones. I feel your protection. I am here to heal 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. We are connected through time in a long line stretching back to the very beginning. I honor you, shining ones. I am listening. And so it is. Oh, amen. We are closed. Thank you, ladies. Love
All
you.
right. All right, Wendy, have a great night. I hope you can hear me. You frozen again? But I hope you have a great night.
I love you too. Bye.
Take care.